Or morning.
Or good afternoon. I guess depending on, because we have lots of fans from all over the world, right?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about that in a second. I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers. You're going to watch that. You're going to...
I know, I'm getting it all over the place. And you're watching Lab Rats, a fabulous podcast all about technology.
And cheese.
Sometimes cheese.
And
anyway,
coffee.
We mentioned all the different time zones and all the different countries because, of course, many of you are around the world. You're not necessarily, we're in Canada, right now in Toronto. Well, we get email from where? All over the place, right?
Yes.
Like Somalia and Sweden, places like that.
Antarctica.
Have we got?
Yeah, in the bathroom too.
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
It's just on your iPod. You never know where you're going to be. They got Wi-Fi on these things now.
That's true. Fair enough. It could be. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Today on the show, we're going to talk about software, and not just any kind of software.
You're still waving that around. I'm just waiting.
Today we're going to talk about the difference between freeware, shareware, what I call gimpware.
Spyware.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about spyware a bit. Different wares in the soft realm. Software, different types of software today, and what you can pay for and what you don't. Today on Lab Rats.
Yes.
Are you hip to that, baby?
I am hip.
Woo! Okay, so let's look at a message from our sponsor because they paid the bills, and when we come back, and they actually sell software. We're going to talk about all the different ways that you can acquire software and
Still coffee on your laptop.
spill coffee on your laptop. All right, let's take a look at this message, and we'll be back in a minute with software, fun stuff that you can buy or not buy, or it's commercial or whatever, after this. I know.
If a bunny was the new Camtasia Studio 5, it would be the fastest, it would be the smartest, and you would love it. The new Camtasia Studio 5, screencasting software that's better than a bunny. Download it at www.techsmith.com.
Okay, I'm going to put my coffee down.
I already put mine away just because of that.
Idea. Put it over here. Otherwise, we're going to get stuff.
Yeah, if you zapped it into that, then there'd be nowhere at all.
There'd be nowhere at all. We would be nowhere.
We would be nowhere.
We would be nowhere. All right. So let's talk about the different types of software out there because I think it's something that some people go, oh, what do you mean I don't have to pay for the software or I have to pay later or whatever it is?
I think a lot of people, especially slightly older people who have been in the world of software and computers for a while, think of software as something that you get at the store in a box.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the case anymore. There's a lot of downloads that you can get over the internet that have various different types, and we're just going to illuminate what those types are now.
So let's start with software. Commercial software is a good place to start. Right? Up on my screen right now is a copy of Camtasia Studio 5 because, of course, it is software you can either get in a box or actually buy a license for and download from the TechSmith website. Right? They are a commercial software maker. They make their living making software and selling it.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest shift that we've seen in software over the last little while is the idea that you can download the software at any time as opposed to having to go and buy it, and all you basically pay for is the license key online now.
So the important distinction here is normally when you download a piece of commercial software, usually it's actually what's called trialware, right? Which means that you can try it out for free for a limited period of time, like 15 days or 30 days. And then if you like it, at the end of that, then you acquire a license by paying your money to the manufacturer, and they send you a license key that you then plug it in, and it becomes a full version, and it doesn't go away.
Right.
So that's commercial software and their marketing efforts using a product called trialware or a category called trialware.
And there's some software out there that won't even work at all unless you pay them, and then you can download it.
That's right. Well, I guess even I know it's some of the really niche products. You actually have to get a physical hardware dongle, like something you plug into a USB key to actually use it. We're talking about high-end, high-value type.
So something like Avid Studio, a video editing software package, which we use around the office at Greedy, they actually have these little purple keys that they have to stick into the machine to make it work at all.
Right. There you go. So that's one end of the spectrum. At the other end of the spectrum is what's called freeware, and this is, of course, products that you download, you can use, and there is no real license fee around it. You can use it for free. And one of my very, very favorites is a product called IrfanView, which is, I've got it up here on the screen here. IrfanView is basically a picture editor, right? So it allows you to resize images. You can put some effects in there. It's sort of a free version of Photoshop. Not quite as advanced, but this guy, Irfan, who lives in Europe someplace, created this product, and it's probably one of the top freewares in the world. Now, if you want to find out what the licensing situation is, when you first install it, you'll actually see what's called a EULA. And at some point we'll talk about a EULA, I think, in maybe another episode.
End user license agreements.
Right. And what that does is it says, here's what your rights are around downloading this software and its usage. So typically freeware comes in two flavors, I think. It's either free for anybody who downloads it and uses it, free to distribute to anybody, with I think one limitation that you can't sell it to somebody else because it's free.
Yeah, and you can't claim that it's yours either, so you have to keep all of the original license agreements in place.
Right. So in this particular case, in this Irfan view here, there's actually a usage agreement in the help menu. And it says, Irfan view is provided as freeware, but only for private, non-commercial use. That means at home. So if you're a company and you want to use this product in your business practices, then you're obligated to send the creator, Irfan Gillen, he's in Austria, a fee, right? In this particular case, he's asking for $10 US per install.
So at that point, it becomes shareware.
Becomes shareware, right? And that leads us sort of to our next topic, shareware. So
I've actually also heard this referred to as donationware. It'll continue to work, but if you like it, you give them a donation of some sort.
That's right, absolutely, absolutely. So sometimes the end user will actually provide it for free, whether you're a business or not. So it's worth, though, if you are a small business owner and you want to use this, that you are obligated with some freeware to actually pay. And let's face it, $10 for a license supports guys like this, right? And in fact, he can actually make a living just on the business licensing of his products.
Yeah. The nice thing about these donations as well is that as a freeware, you're basically on your own. And sometimes you look at the license agreement, sometimes when you give them that donation, it actually gives you some support from them as well. So you actually have the ability to interact with the creator of this software, and they will have no problem at all helping you out with these problems.
That's right,
if you
exactly.
made the donation.
That's very true, actually. So sometimes it comes without the support, right? Now, here is another product that I really like, and this is actually the motivation behind creating freeware often is just the joy of putting out a tool onto the internet, into the public space, just because it solves a problem. So this guy created a product called ProduKey, and ProduKey basically allows you to extract that license key for Windows or Windows-type products, right? So let's say you lost that little sticker on the back of your Windows install, but you have a copy actually installed. You can actually use this to extract your license key. So
You can extend that over.
no,
let's show off all your Windows keys to everybody.
all my Windows keys here. So as you can see here, there's actually a license key for Internet Explorer. It's free anyway. But Microsoft Office, Pro, and I don't know, I guess because I installed over top of something here. And of course, Windows Vista as well.
So this will do it for any Microsoft products that are on your system.
I guess so, yeah. So if we click on About here, let's have a look what he says. He doesn't say much at all. He's got a copyright, but there you go. So this guy is basically saying, here, use it. I don't care. You don't have to send me any money. It's free. Okay. Let's address, though, shareware. I think that's a really important. So you characterize it as shareware or donationware. What do you mean by that?
Well, you're free to share it, and you're free to donate it. The nice thing about this is if you don't donate to them, it'll still function.
Right.
And in this case with them, he's asking you nicely, basically, if you're using it in the commercial setting, to pay him some money. But you can continue to use it. It's just an ethical thing at that point.
That's right.
So what you're doing essentially is you're paying for support of the product, and they'll continue to develop this product. But that's largely it for this. It's share. I'm sharing the software with you, essentially.
Right, exactly. And a lot of guys, will actually create shareware and actually live off of the proceeds, right? So if you find a product that has a shareware license, and you really love it and you use it every day, do him a favor, or her a favor. It's a female programmer, of course. Look up on the website, make a donation through PayPal, or send them a check, or whatever it is, because you get to support some really great programs out there, and allow them to continue to do what they do well and produce amazing products in this world.
Now, I want to give one quick warning on this. Is the thing about freeware and shareware is anyone can get their software out there. And the unfortunate side effect of that is anyone who has bad intentions can also put software out there. Right. So they can also put spyware in the background of your system. They can put really nasty Trojans inside there, and you might not have any clue. So what would be a very good idea is to check some of the sites that share these things, like 2Cows or download.com, and just see what are the reviews on there. Is it buggy? Does it put crap on there? just be very clear about what you're putting on there, and be aware that if you put on something that's unknown to you, that you might be putting on something on your system that you don't necessarily want on there.
Right, and that's one of the downsides, unfortunately, of freeware and shareware. You know, if it doesn't, I would look to see if there's any reviews people say about it, because if something is infected with something, the geeks out there on the internet will, let the community know very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, perfect example a few years back was Kazaa. You were getting this great file sharing software, but you were getting a lot more than you were bargaining for when you put that on your system.
Right.
So be very clear.
Now, speaking of spyware, of course, there is actually a shareware version. There's a shareware product called Spybot Search and Destroy, which both Sean and I recommend on a regular basis, and that is shareware. So it's called Spybot Search and Destroy, available from safer-networking.net. And I just clicked on the help file here and chose donations. He actually has an item called donations there, as you can see. And what he says is, developing Spybot has become a full-time job for him over the past few years. So in order to maintain the quality of that product and maintain it, he's asking for you to, he says, no, we have no intention to charge for this product into a crippled or commercial version, but I need to make a living and income to continue this work. So I'm asking you to download my software, and if you like it and can spare a few bucks, please come back and donate. So there's a link here, and you can visit the donation site and donate like that.
So, and this is one of the best programs that's out there on the internet. It actually outshines a lot of commercial programs that are designed to do exactly the same thing. And he's giving it away for free just because he's taking your donations.
That's right. So that, I think, he will go to heaven, or whatever his version of heaven is.
And he mentioned in the license, or the donations page, there's something which we're also going to cover. He's not going to offer a crippled versions, or what you call gimpware.
Gimpware.
Not the most sensitive name in the whole world, but
No.
but it essentially talks about what you're doing, where you have a piece of software that has a certain feature set, and you unlock the rest of the features when you pay the money at that point.
That's right. There's actually a product called Network Magic that is sort of designed to help you manage, to lock down your network, your Wi-Fi network, and make sure you manage it effectively so you don't get interlopers on it. And so Network Magic comes with an extended feature set. It's available, I think, for the first, I'm sure it's 7 or 30 days. And you use all the features. After that time, what happens is then a timer kicks in and it turns off a bunch of the advanced features. And it works on a reduced level, so it's kind of the free version, right? If you want to get that back, then you obviously have to pay a licensing fee at the end of that process to make sure they get the full functionality back. But it gives you an opportunity to use it, and then if you, after a period of time, it gets downgraded to a lesser useful version.
Right, so it's kind of like trialware, except instead of getting cut off at the end of the trial period, it gives you limited functionality.
That's right. Now, do you have, and of course, we should mention here that of course, there's zillions of things for the PC. There actually is lots of shareware, freeware, and trialware for the Mac, too, right?
Right, so there's lots of shareware for the Mac and Linux as well. So, Linux, there's just a ton of it. So, Mac,
because Linux itself is free.
It is an open source sort of thing. And so there's a lot of people that are just invested in the community that are creating their own little utilities and make them available under the same open agreement that the operating system itself is. Mac, they don't have quite as many as Windows, obviously, but there is quite a lot of free and shareware-based software out there for the Mac. Right. And my favorite source for that is Version Tracker, and they've got a ton of stuff. They actually have Windows stuff in there, but they've got all the best Mac stuff in there. Lots of great reviews as well.
Right.
And a couple of my favorite programs for there. One of them is called Onyx. Which is a system optimizer tool. You can tweak some of the settings on there, like how your menu and scroll bars look on the system. You can change or verify your permissions, repair permissions from within there, and clear your caches, all from within this one handy utility.
Oh, very good.
And there's also one that's actually available for Windows as well, and it's called Handbrake.
Okay.
And Handbrake is a DVD ripper, essentially.
Right.
It'll actually allow you to choose chapters, rip the whole disk, and it's just an awesome piece of software.
All right, good. Well, let's wrap up. We'll go to another commercial, and when we come back, do we have any pictures, or are we just going to say bye-bye?
We do have some pictures, too.
Yay! I love the pictures. Okay, well, after this, we have pictures of you that you sent in.
I think they're open source, too.
Awesome. All right, on with the pictures. What was it? You know the theme song? It's picture time. It's picture time. Sorry. I love that.
If anybody out there wants to write a real theme song for Picture Time,
Yeah.
please do.
Uh-oh.
I think your screen grab is done. All right, well, let's start with a picture from Christopher, and he's in Epworth in Iowa.
Epworth, Iowa.
Epworth in Iowa.
Where in Iowa is it? Is it in the central bit, or the top bit, or the bottom bit?
It's around and about Epworth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so if you know where Epworth is, it's
Yeah,
right near there.
It's right near there. Okay, good. Oh,
Now we have
half a viewer.
half a viewer,
Yes.
and you know what?
And he's a sleepy.
This is our reprise viewer. This is Anthony
Yes.
from the UK, I believe, and
Anthony from the UK.
yeah, remember
Right.
Anthony had sent a picture before that had text over it, tech geek, yay, blah blah blah.
Dollar sign.
Yes.
Super fun. Yeah.
He is a tech geek, and he wanted to correct us on one thing. It was the YE was supposed to be yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 So yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the correction.
Anthony from England.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Lovely. All right. Go on. Thank you,
I
Anthony.
just love tapping into your roots.
Isn't it awful? Isn't it great? You know, do you know I was born in Norwich, England? I was. It's true. Sean was born in Brandon, Manitoba.
It's true.
Right. And somehow we just got brought here together for this television magic.
It was on a bus, I think. Speaking of Ontario, which we are in right now,
Ontario.
this is Justin, and he's from somewhere in Ontario.
Really? Where's
Yeah.
that? Where's that near?
Well, I'm pretty sure he said Ontario, Canada. But it could be Ontario, California,
That's
which is
correct.
where we're at for the Podcasting Expo.
That's
But I think Justin looks a little bit like a Canuck, though. So I'm going to say that he's somewhere in Ontario, Canada.
Well, Summer, Ontario, I think, is just west of Mississauga, isn't it? It's a small farming town. They grow the world's biggest
yeah.
carrots.
Nowhere, Ontario.
Ontario.
it's nowhere, Ontario.
You're thinking of Ontario, Ontario, which is out to the east.
Okay, got it. That was his name?
It's Justin.
Justin! Thank you, Justin, for your picture.
Yes.
Should we send him a razor? Needs a shave.
Yeah.
Lab Rats razors. Next on episode.
I think I need one.
You do, absolutely. All right, Justin and all you other people who send you pictures in, thank you. We love to see our viewers. We love you. We love picture time. Insert theme song here. Okay. That's it for us this week, right?
Yep. Send your pictures, by the way, to feedback@labrats.tv.
Feedback at labrats.tv. Good.
Yes.
All right. And don't forget to visit our our website, labrats.tv.
Don't forget our vicious website.
Our vicious website.
No, you keep that out of the picture, Mo. We're not going to talk about his book today. I think we just did, didn't we?
I think we did. All right, that's it for us. Thank you so much for using all your bandwidth to download this episode. I'm Andy Walker,
I'm Sean Carruthers.
and we will see you next time. Bye.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
Yay.